Hey, Masty, check it out. I knew we were in the right place when I seen a couple of microphones. Rich Howes and NEPA Scene Podcast invited us over to talk about something. What do you want to do?
You know what, George? There's something missing. Just a little bit of broken skull, because there ain't no party like an NEPA Scene party, because an NEPA Scene party, it don't stop.
Let's go.
Way better than I could ever do. Welcome to the NEPA Scene Podcast, the only local live streaming podcast of its kind. We're coming to you from Legacy Studios in downtown Wilkes-Barre. I'm Rich Howells, the founder and editor of NEPA Scene, and today we're here with Rosh, a.k.a. Uncle Masty, and George Polemitis of Smash Master Wrasslin, an independent wrestling promotion that presents events all over Northeastern Pennsylvania. We're going to talk about how they got into professional wrestling, the ever-growing world of the indie circuit, the local origins of Smash Master Wrasslin and its fast rise over the last year, organizing events and everything from gymnasiums and theaters to a bar's backyard, controlling the chaos of pro wrestling, creating a wrestling persona, attracting and building a fan base, some of the most memorable shows that they've been a part of, hosting and hyping up crowds, their upcoming events at Classics Bar and Grill in Scranton, and the Throop Civic Center, and much, much more. So please stay tuned for the full conversation. We would love to hear from you down in the comments below. So, anything that you want to know about local wrestling, anything that you want to hear their opinions about, just leave those down below, and we'll get to those in just a bit. Before we dive in, I just want to thank Josh Balls for letting us use his recording studio. He's the owner of the Strange and Unusual Oddities Parlor in Kingston, as well as Noir Dark Spirits in Scranton. And his latest venture is Legacy Studios. So go follow them on Instagram at Legacy Recording PA and book a session at legacyrecordingpa.com. And we also will thank our sponsor, Merch Booth, but we have something special for that in a little bit involving our producer, John Fry here. So we'll... yeah, you won't just hear like a distant voice in the background, hopefully. So we'll get to that in just a little bit. But first, we want to kind of introduce these fine people to maybe how you first discovered wrestling. I'm assuming a lot of people have that same story as we're talking about, just watching maybe WWF on TV or something like that. Was that your introduction to wrestling?
I wasn't allowed to watch wrestling. My parents thought it was for heathens and goofballs and carnies. And I mean, they were right. They were right. But I mean, I totally am like all of those things. I really didn't get into wrestling until I was like high school, like 14, 15 years old. You know, the NWO. I was a Nitro kid. I was a WCW guy, for life. And I just started consuming everything I could. And Nitro was 3 hours. And for some reason that wasn't enough. And, then there's Thunder. That was another 2 hours, and Worldwide on Saturdays. And I get a little obsessive. Next thing you know, I'm up at 2 o'clock in the morning watching WYLN, watching ECW with chairs flying everywhere. Yeah. My world was broken open. And
late night good stuff.
Yeah, man. That's my heart and soul, is that late night garbage television. But we'll talk about Smash Master Wrasslin soon.
Oh, I can't wait.
And I realized that I went to Millville. I don't know if you guys know the booming metropolis of Millville out in Columbia County. We technically are part of NEPA. We're technically part of the 570. We just ain't from the valley. I didn't really fit in anywhere. We didn't have a football team. Like this hulking mass of a human didn't have a football team to play, right? So like, we're a soccer school. You know what I'm not going to do? Run. I am not running. Like, I'm not a runner. These colors don't run, baby. So, I just kind of retreated into my little wrestling world, and I started to realize, like, hey, I'm a pretty big guy. I could probably do this. And, fortunately for me at that time over in Hazleton, the Wild Samoans had a training center, and that's one of the biggest families in pro wrestling, right. One of the most reputable schools in pro wrestling. And I'm lucky enough to just kind of fall into it. And that was 20 years ago.
Wow. So you have a ton of experience going into this. This is not your first venture.
With Smash Master Wrasslin, this is the first time it's my baby. I've helped a lot of other people run companies, write stories, run the books for him, do promotional, do advertising. But this is the first time that I finally did one that was completely my vision. This was my gamble, my stupid, gamble of whatever money I had. And you know what? It's beautiful.
Bro, just give me a minute while you're saying that, man.
Do your thing. I'm gonna drink this beer.
Sleeves are off. I'm gonna do this, and I got the jacket. I'm gonna do this.
George is gonna flex on us here.
Oh shit!
Show it. Ow!
Now I want to
Woo! Get it, baby.
So George, how did you get involved with this? Was this something you've done before? I know you've
Well, there
hosted
was this
some
one
things and
time.
stuff, but have you ever been involved with like wrestling before?
So plain and simple, I'm a pro wrestling super fan, and it started way back. I'm gonna date myself for a second, but in 1984, I saw Hulk Hogan beat the Iron Sheik for the title, and I fell in love with pro wrestling. So just like everyone that I loved it. I love it. I still currently love it, and I'm also a barber, and we have a customer who's a pro wrestler also. Asked me, he's like, listen, I know you love it. Would you want to try being a ring announcer for my boy Rosh? And I was like, man, like I would love to. And this is right where it started from. Rosh said, bring him in. We'll see what he could do. And then now I'm with Smash Master, man. So
George, there was another time that you got involved in a wrestling match, was there not?
That it was.
Come on, everybody wants to hear the good stuff. Tell us the good stuff. Come on.
So plain and simple, PPW out there in Hazleton was running the show in the Steamtown Mall. The man Johnny Moran was in the main event. That is my boy. That is who comes to the barbershop. That is who passed my name on. Well, he was in a big match. I couldn't handle him losing that match, so I felt that I had to run down to the ring with a chair in hand and try to get it into him. And he's looking at me like, what the fuck are you doing? Well, referee Matty Durline, best in the business, calls it right down the middle, is grabbing the chair from me. And he's like, who are you? I was like, just go with it. He's like, who are you? I was like, let's go. I'm with Johnny Moran. And then Johnny got the roll up pin. I freaked out. Next thing I know, security's like, don't ever come back to another show again.
I'd say just about half of our roster has been thrown out of other companies anyway.
Yeah. But that's,
Johnny there, he told me, he's like, hey, what are you doing for a ring announcer? And I don't like, a lot of what Smash Master is me just purposely breaking paradigms. I don't like your stuffy, stereotypical, coming to the ring, ring announcer. Like there's nothing wrong with it, but I like to look at our shows as more of a party, an experience. Like I don't even like calling them shows, really. I don't want you to come watch
the experience.
I want you to come be a part of this. Just come join this with us. So that's what we try to do with Smash. And I was like, I need a host for this party. I need someone that's going to amp these people up. I need someone that doesn't know everything about wrestling. I need someone that's just going to be excited to be there. That's this motherfucker right here. So I know that as soon as his music hits, because George has music, he gets music, he comes through that ring, that whole place is woof, just like that. Because how can you not love George? How can you not?
Bro, V, come on, big bro. That was nice. That was nice. I'll drink to that.
George skipped one Smash show, and his replacement ended up stabbing me in the back. So that's cool. Thanks, George.
Jazz Hawthorne, you're no good. You're no good for what you did.
Only a pro leaves an unloyal person as their replacement, though. That's being a smart broadcaster.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. So, just getting into wrestling was more or less kind of stumbling into it for both of us,
And it was the opportunity that I was waiting for.
How did you discover indie wrestling and that was kind of a thing? Because it seems like the general populace, I don't think seems to know that there's such a large indie wrestling circuit, particularly in Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania's got has always been known for having a hotbed. It gets hot and cools with the industry, when TV wrestling's big, like right now it's kind of in a little bit of a boom, right? They're doing a lot of things overseas. There's a lot of new eyeballs on it. So when wrestling grows, it grows all over. So right now in Pennsylvania, there's a dozen quality places that you can watch wrestling at. And I don't look at anybody as competition. To me, if you put on a good wrestling show, that's good for wrestling.
Right. It's good for everybody.
Absolutely. And you're seeing a lot more of people who don't watch wrestling coming to our local shows. And that's what we like. That's what we like. You know, don't get me wrong. Wrestling fans are fun. They know wrestling. They've got a lot of really steep expectations from guys that like are risking breaking their necks, you know?
Right.
So I love when, you know, there's a crowd of kids, right? Like that's the best. When there's a crowd of kids and they're in on all of it, you know you have them, you know, and
you made a bunch cry over there
I
during
did,
your
you
birthday
know.
bash. That was tough. I don't know. Them kids were crying.
But that's the thing, you know, we want to evoke emotions, right? So it's like you get kids, or what's the next best thing to a toddler? A drunk person.
Oh, yeah.
Put me in a bar and we are on like Donkey Kong. And we really found this out this past weekend at Classics. We did our first show at Classics. I don't know how we even fit that in there.
Winning.
I told George, I was like, man, it's going to look like when, you know, Jesus was like walking around in the desert or in the houses and they like started ripping holes in the roofs, you know, dropping people in. I'm like, we're going to go convertible bar here. You know, I'm just waiting for people to be hanging off the balcony up above. And it was a blast. We kind of just stripped down all of the fancy fanfare. We got rid of the fancy entrance. You know, we got rid of all the stuff that we'd saved up and spent all the money on to make it look great. And we stripped it all down. So it was just fights in the back lot of a bar. And the footage is absolutely outstanding. I can't wait to start rolling that out this week on YouTube. There's my plug at Smash Master Wrasslin on YouTube. All of our shows, by the way, are on there for free. There's no paywall.
Free.
We just want you to watch. Look, all of us, we're not tough guys. If we were, we'd be in MMA. You know, we're
Speak
artists.
for yourself now. I got
well,
an image
George is the tough guy over here, right? We're artists. You know, we're performers. We pour our heart and soul into this, and we want people to watch it. You know, so if that means that, yeah, I'm not going to make a couple bucks because someone's not buying it on DVD or paying for a streaming service to watch it, then, you know, so be it.
Bastards.
I'll get them when they come to the show. I'll get them at the door.
Right.
You know, because you watch this stuff, you're going to be like, there's no way I want to miss this. I got friends down in Bloomsburg that drive all the way up to Scranton to watch this because they're like, what's happening in the story? You know, they missed the bar show. Hey, what happened? What's the story? And it's like, oh, okay. Well, let me give you a fill in here. I can't wait for the videos to come out. It's great. And the fact that most of our talent is from here. And that's a very big thing for me is I always felt coming up in this area, we always had to travel. You know, New Jersey, 2-3 hours, New York City, 3.5, 4 hours, out to Pittsburgh, down to Philly. We're always running around somewhere else, trying to work in someone else's town, fighting over the scraps of whatever's left over on a show, you know, hoping to get $20 or $30, you know. Dear God, I hope I can either buy gas or food on the way home, one or the other, you know,
pack of cigarettes,
you know, and I'm thinking like, I'm 40. I'm not shooting to get signed anymore. I'm like, why don't I just kind of make something so that the kids around here have somewhere where they can bring their friends and family and we can perform in front of our people. And we don't have to like mask up and like go be somebody else somewhere else. We can just be us here at home. And it's a straight up party. I love it. All right, I'm done rambling. I'm going to drink this beer. George, you got something to say?
What else could I say? I mean, dang, man, dang. But that's one beautiful thing about, you mentioned it being a storyline based fed, and that's what I've watched as a fan, as a super fan, watch these stories progress. And, you know, it's kind of tough for me. Like I got yelled at. Shelby Waters, there's your little plug right there. She yelled at me about 100 times I got to be partial. I can't be cheering for one, booing the other. I was like, get the fuck out of here. I was like, the fan in me came out. And I wasn't afraid of, but that's the stories. The stories are being told with Smash Master Wrasslin, and that's what it is, an experience, Rich. It's not a wrestling show. It's an experience. You're coming out, and unlike anything, these athletes, these superstars in the ring performing at the highest level for like the story, the crowd, the love. And that's, you know what I mean? That's what Smash Master created. And it's just, I can't say much more about it other than I fucking love it.
It's a culture. I keep telling everybody it's a vibe. Okay. Smash Master is
a vibe. That's what they're saying these days.
You know, we don't even have championship belts.
We don't have
So
belts.
you're not really building.
I don't.
towards
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Traditional, what people maybe think of as a storyline.
Yeah, they're props. You know,
Right.
they're props. And really, what are you, the champion of Northeastern PA?
Wow.
Big fucking whoop. You know,
Yeah.
like let's be honest. Like, you know, you get to those bigger companies, those belts, yeah, they mean something. But down here, when it's mud show to mud show, you know, who the fuck cares? Let's just go out there, let's find a good story to tell, and let's beat the living piss out of each other. And it's worked so far.
That happens way too much.
Speak for yourself.
So you're doing this stuff for like 20 years or so. What is the final catalyst that says I got to create my own promotion? I gotta do it the way I want to do it.
Mental illness, probably. Apparently I don't love money anymore. No, I'll tell you what it was. I've been in and out for 20 years. I don't ever want anyone to think that I'm claiming to be a 20-year guy, because I spent more time out of it than in. Like I've got a short attention span. I chase the dopamine, so like I spent a while as a wrestler, and then I took time and I was a concert promoter, and then I was a tour manager, and then I toured with a nonprofit. Then I was a touring preacher. That's a wild story. And I'll kind of like bounce through all these different things, but I always come back to wrestling. Like it's my true north. I just come back to wrestling. And the last couple of years, I came back this last time as an old man, as the guy who doesn't care about getting signed or going on TV or, whatever happens. I just want to have a good time. I want to do some crazy, dumb shit. I want to have like something I can at least watch when, someday I'm going to be in the nursing home. Someone's gonna be like, oh, old grandpa over there is talking about his professional wrestling days
He
again.
used to jump off shit.
Yeah. And I'd be like, well, watch the video. I want the evidence. I was helping all these other guys out, and they weren't listening, and they were struggling. They weren't making the money that they could. Cause yeah, there's an element of business to this too. Let's be honest. I don't want to keep having to go to work to pay for my wrestling shows.
Right.
I'd like to actually have my wrestling shows pay for themselves. And I just got tired of not being listened to. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe all my ideas are dumb. Maybe that's why nobody listens to me, but I won't know unless I take a gamble on me. And if I can't take a gamble on me, who the hell else is gonna?
Yeah.
So I called up some of my friends, the Diamond City War Machines.
Pinhat DeMayo, boys.
Yep. Eric Pinhat, Brad DeMayo. I've known them since they were, fighting in the backyard. I was like, hey, you know how we talked about doing, or what we would do if we ever did this? Why don't we do it? And I got a hold of Kit Raff up in Scranton, the front tail swinger, the true son of Scranton.
True son of Scranton.
True son of Scranton.
Johnny Moran's from Throop.
You're throwing shots over there, man. You don't need to be throwing shots at Johnny. Jeez almighty.
I love Johnny Moran with all of my heart. I'm a heel.
So something like that. Oh my good Lord. So we started calling up some of these guys that have been around and done some things in this area that have actually traveled outside. We're like, all right, let's compare notes.
Okay.
Let's build the company we always wanted. And what would that look like? And it's funny. It's like the more and more we looked at it, the more and more outlaw and just outlandish and wild it got. Like, all of us kind of just broke in watching ECW and the wildness of that. And I ain't ever gonna say like we're the next ECW. What a bunch of foolishness. That company folded because they couldn't pay their bills.
Like that, something so ridiculous.
But like we want to be the first Smash Master Wrasslin. We want to be the first company in Northeastern PA that's actually made people who don't give a shit about wrestling actually kind of enjoy themselves at a wrestling show. If I can get you to come once, I guarantee I'll get you to come back.
Hooked.
What made you decide on the name Smash Master Wrasslin? And
to
call it wrestling, not wrestling.
Well, my grandmother always called it wrestling. My grandmother always called it the wrestling matches. Like I said, I'm from out in Millville,
right.
out past Bloomsburg. We're a little bit more, y'all out there. And I know people that never left Columbia County that have a deep Southern accent. I have no idea how the fuck they've pulled it off, but it's beautiful. And she always called it wrestling. And that always stuck with me, that like everybody always talked about hillbillies calling it wrestling. And there was always like the joke of like some of these, we call them shindies now, but these call them outlaw mud shows. They weren't the affiliated big brands, And I've always liked that outlaw lifestyle. I've always liked that. It's It's kind of like when we were kids, we were doing the punk rock thing. It's like, fuck the rules, you know, fuck authority. I'll still pay my taxes on it and use the promoter's license from the state, but like, I'm going to look like I'm punk rock as shit. You know, Pin Hat provided the sound system. Another friend of ours that broke in the backyard back in the day, he helped us get funding for the ring. It's literally like all of this is just pulled together from people that just give a shit. You know, we're just tired of working places and going places that don't. And if this last hurrah for all these 40-plus-year-olds, you know, is to help these young kids that are breaking in and help this new area, like just recultivate, then it's worth it. You know, if this is how I go out and I go out in my own backyard, as it were, fuck it, I'm on board.
You know what, Rich? He's not going to toot this horn, but I'm going to tell you something right now. This locker room that he assembled, these superstars that are in here are probably the chillest people you could ever be in the same room with. I want to party with them all every time, every single one. There's no strife in that locker room. There's no shit. There's no, even the top dog in that locker room is chilling with the guys that are putting the ring together. Like, it's just such a camaraderie. We're all friends. We're all friends. We don't.
I tell everybody in the pre-show meeting, and I mean this, because like every wrestling show you're at, before the fans were letting the door, the promoter pulled all the talent in and he sat them down, and he probably said some of the same bullshit that you hear every fucking time. And one of them is always, this is a family. Vomit. I've seen how y'all treat each other. Y'all treat your family like that? Fuck you. Yeah, get out of here. Get out of here. I tell everybody, this ain't a family. Y'all are my friends. I've chosen you to be here for a reason. I want you to be here. I believe in you. That's the locker room I have. We don't have belts, so there's nobody weaseling around trying to go, give me a little prop so I can feel better about myself. You know, we don't have that. You know, and there's nothing but quality talent. So it's not like someone's like, oh, I don't want to work this guy. He's a piece of shit. No, everybody there is a good person and a quality worker. You know, you're going to get entertained, and you can rest assured that they're not pieces of shit scumbags.
So is that, being friends and having that relationship, does that make it easier to organize these things? Because anybody who's looking on at this kind of thing is going to assume, oh, this is pure chaos. But if you're creating a storyline, there has to be maybe some organization involved, I would think. But you can correct me if I'm wrong.
I mean, if you take one look at me, like, I mean, seriously, the camera's on, look at me. Like, I'm wearing a shirt that's like, this was my original Mastodon Run shirt from 2013. Like, this thing, these aren't fake cuts. These are just things that have happened. You know, I am as ADHD as it gets. I have more unfinished projects than I've ever started. And I would not be able to do any of this. I would not be able to keep it under control if it weren't for all of these people being my friends. But let there be no mistake. There is a there's a huge folder on my Google Drive of nothing but color-coded spreadsheets guiding us through date by date. Who's doing what? I don't want to run the same match twice unless it's intentional. You know, I don't want to cross people up. I don't want to book myself in a corner. I care about how I put my shows together. So I'm super organized, but with everything else, hot garbage mess, complete shit show dumpster fire that we just kind of stumble through and make our way.
And, George, you kind of have to be, maybe somewhat of a guide there, or a, spokesman to, you have to.
George is our spirit guide.
And, kind of keep things, moving and focus people's attention to certain things and stuff like that. Where does that come from? How do you manage to do that kind of stuff, especially because you're just coming into this within the last year or so?
I credit to my BGE, and that's my big George energy. I ooze positivity. I'm oozing
everywhere.
That highest energy, and that the smiles into people's faces when you come out only brings it out so much more. So I'm already coming out at 100. When I see these people, I'm now at 200. I'm running around, high-fiving the kids, dancing, jumping around, and I'm keeping the energy up. And that, to me, to see that type of excitement, that's what fuels me to keep the party going. Now I have to also keep them engaged in between matches and everything. So they're not, we run some long shows, usually about 3 hours,
2. Come on, baby. Come on. Don't scare the people now.
2 hours.
2-hour shows.
They're about 2 hour shows.
There might be an intermission that might go 15, 20 to break it up, but they're written to be 2-hour shows.
So it's my job to, like, you know what I mean? We interact. You know what I mean? I try to keep the crowd as engaged as possible. And you know what I mean? I have a lot of fun doing that. So it just comes easy for me because I love to do it.
Right. Well, I mean, just seeing the way that you hype people up, wherever I see you, whether it's at a show or the NEPA Scene open mic on Tuesdays or whatever,
which is one of my favorite things to do. For the last 3 years, I've been there on a Tuesday night. Big shout to Rich Howell.
My guy was hyping me up last night more than anyone I've ever seen.
Listen, the voice in your head right now, John Pride, was getting busy. I'm busy.
George takes off the whole day of Monday just to charge his energy up so he can, like, that battery's got to be at full so he can hit the open mic.
I love it.
He's always like, "Hey, do you want me to plug Smash? I'll plug Smash on Tuesday." I'm like, "Go ahead, George. Do what you want, baby.
Love that.
Get it."
Tell us about your characters. You have Uncle Masty. Where does the inspiration for that come from? I would assume, from your background, from where you live. But like, tell us a little bit about who these characters are and what's fun about them, what's interesting about them.
You got a couple minutes? I'll tell you a story.
Yeah.
So my shirt says Mastodon, right? Like that was my name when I came back in 2011, 2012. I was a big old hoss boy. I've lost 200 pounds. So, like, I'm a lot smaller than I used to be. I didn't know what I wanted to be. And when I first started wrestling when I made my debut in 2002, I just wrestled as Rosh. It's a cool fucking name, right? 4-letter word, easy peasy, marketable, memorable. But I wanted to do something a little bit different, and I was like, I want to be like this mastodon, right? And which is cool because that's what Vince McMahon's, he just tried to shove that on Vader and Vader just wouldn't take it, right? And I'm like, I'm over here, I'll do it, and I just kind of was looking for something. Anyway, my buddy's dad, he hand paints signs. Like, talk about a lost art, like hand paints wooden signs, and he's good too, but he's an asshole, man. Like, and he knows it. I'll tell him to his face. And we're standing there, and I'm talking to my buddy Johnny, and I'm talking to his kid, and we're in his shop, and I'm changing the tire on my bike, and he's like, "Hey," he's like, "you ought to be the mastodon, because you're the size of an elephant." I'm like, great. This asshole's popping a fat joke, And being a kid that was always oversized, I thought, I learned young that the best way to take the power away from anyone was like making fun of your bullying is to just make fun of yourself. Probably not the most healthy coping mechanism. I don't recommend it. It's terrible for your self-esteem in the long run, right? But I was trying to get over some of that shit, and I was like, you know what? Fuck you. I'm gonna own that shit. Right. So I took this name and I became the Mastodon. And I was like this, I had this mohawk, and I was just big motherfucker. And I just beat the piss out of people. And it was a blast, right? Just pure adrenaline, like 15-second matches. We're going to come in. I'm going to clothesline your head off, and I'm going to drop you on it with a designated driver. That was what most of my matches at WXW were for like 2 years. Right. And then as I came back again, I tried to be this guy again, but now I've got, like, that was 10 years earlier. Now I've got nephews. Now I'm more funny than I am scary at this point, right? Like, you see me pissed off, yeah, you'll cross the street and we'll keep fucking walking. But, like, generally speaking, I'm gonna have a good time. I'm gonna crack jokes. I'm gonna drink beer during my match. I'm gonna laugh at the crowd, and there's no coming back from that. So I couldn't really be this, like, dark, scary, angry mastodon anymore. So I was like, more like just your old Uncle Masty, this old rascal that, this carny fuck that pops in every once in a while, has some half-baked idea and is always, hopping
Definitely
in, hopping
baked.
out. Yeah, definitely baked. Twice baked and double mashed, baby.
Yeah.
So I just kind of went in that direction, and there's an evolution to it always. it's just a new piece to the story for me. Like especially starting this new company, I couldn't start this company and be this big bad guy, like it just wouldn't work, and I'm never going to be like that corporate looking. That ain't fucking happening, like, so I was like, I'll be Uncle Masty and y'all come on out to Uncle Masty's show and I'll just lean into my hillbilly because it's already there, like realistically, it's like every old timer will tell you, every one of those Dark Side of the Ring interviews, I'll tell you the same thing. The best characters are just you dialed up. So I just started cutting away everything that might not be me. And I just started dialing up everything that is and just being okay with it. And let me tell you, like mental health wise, when you just accept who you are and you lean into it and that becomes your character, it makes life a whole fucking hell of a lot easier. George, on the other hand, the meat pole, I don't know where the fuck he came with
I just fucking do it. I just fucking do it. Look at this fucking thing. Look at this wing. You know what I mean? Look at that. God dang it.
Come to me. It came with me.
Oh my God. Take it easy. Take it easy.
We're gonna refer back to the don't say anything you don't want to have repeated.
That was John.
I believe that was your rule.
Yes, that's my advice to everyone who comes on the show. They will say, "Oh yeah, well, if I say something, will you edit it out later?" And I said, "No, it's live. Just don't say anything you wouldn't want to hear played back to you later." And
I think I'm
seems to
still
work pretty
going
well.
all right. I think I'm doing good.
Well, that's great because like that's how the wrestling shows are too. I mean, like once you go through the curtain, look, if I'm in charge of that show, right? Once someone goes through the curtain, I have to trust them,
right?
Because whatever happens out there is happening. Like there's no stopping it as it happens. I mean, you can go out and stop it after it happens, but there ain't stopping it from happening. So like, sorry, you can't say cut, time out. There ain't none, and it's the same thing with this, you just got to be able to go with it live and you got to think sometimes. Hopefully I didn't break the mic from.
Don't we had all them mic problems.
Has Uncle Masty developed over the last 7-8 months or so? Is there anything or does he kind of stay the same? What does he do?
So when I first broke into the Uncle Masty character, I was a little overzealous and I was trying to pull my southern drawl. Like I lived in North Carolina for a while, and like if I'm around a certain dialect for a while, I'll pick it up.
A lot of people are like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So like I was doing a lot of southern drawl type things. I was thinking about like things my grandfather used to say, because he used to say like the wackiest fucking old time colloquialisms and shit. Like
what?
Oh, he said my brother is notorious for being a shitty driver. He's had his license taken away more times than I can count. But I'm not very smart, so I can't count very high. But I was talking to my pap one day in the backyard, and my brother goes flying down the road, right? And my pap starts shaking his head. He's like, he's got a nice car, but he drives like a hound hit in the head with a brick. I was like, that's fucking amazing. So I pocketed that one. And then there was this other time, my cousin's husband, well now ex-husband or whatever, but like he had a Geo Metro, right? And this is a guy that's built about like me. He's a big old boy in a Geo Metro, which is just hilarious in its own right. But he decided to go exploring on some back roads in the middle of winter, and they're all frozen over, and we're in Hillbilliesville, and like he hit this tree that I swear is like no bigger than this soda can, totaled the car.
Oh, dang.
So since the car is immobile, you have to, of course, report it to the police. They have to come, then they have to make a police statement and shit. And like my pap and I go to pick him up, and cop comes over to him, and like, you just see this guy going around like kicking the snow around, and he goes, "Is he all right?" Pap goes, "Well, let me tell you what." Like, now let me tell you what. Like, you just like, I'm fucking listening. Tell me, please tell me. And he's like, you could shove his brains up a Jaybird's ass and it would fly sideways. What? That moment changed my life. Right. So like this Uncle Masty character was largely based around
on
my
a Jaybird.
Bro, Jaybird's ass that'll fly fucking sideways. Seen it happen, seen it. I've seen it. So like I tried to reach into a lot of that, like, living in Millville, there was this old gas station where all the my family always called it the DPC, it's the elder gentleman of the community. There's the Dead Pecker Club, right? And then
I never want to join that community. And you just got to stay.
Yeah, you just got to keep it in motion, Georgia.
You got to stay great.
But don't play with it too much; it'll fall off, So like these guys will sit down at the gas station, right, and drink gas station coffee. Like they're not sitting at a coffee shop drinking little lattes or fucking frappes or nothing. No, these guys are drinking
John Fry loves frappes.
stickiest, darkest, grossest coffee ever, right? And I'm like, I would just go and listen to what they would say. And I try to base this character basically around that, around all the hunting stories I've ever heard. And then as we've progressed, I've like dialed out some of the stuff that's like a little outside of me, and I've dialed more into me, you know, like boiled it down and condensed it, right? And just kind of found that flavor. And you know, we'll get to a point where we'll need to gear shift because you don't want things to get stale ever. So there's always got to be character. Like it's like life. If there's no character progression, are you really living?
Right.
Living.
George was just born this way. He popped out. He popped out of the womb as a disco
This is no
ball.
gimmick. This is no gimmick. I'm just me. I'm just me.
That person that gave you the advice to buy into yourself, it was
Oh, man, yeah, right. You said the nicest things.
Listen. You know, I know George is a wild one, but he's a wise one too. You know, you got to listen to your barber and your bartender and your cook. You know, and George does a little bit of everything.
Oh
so.
man, I mean, you know, I wear all of them hats, but none of them fit. You know what I mean? So I don't know where it's at.
Let's ask some people who are watching what they think, and we'll put some up on the screen here.
You could. I'll put some up for you, Rich, if you want.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, I see a comment in here. I just want to shout out my homeboy Gavin
Gavin's
and Palmer. Thank you for watching. I love you
Gavin.
guys. Can't wait to see you guys again. I'll see you on Monday.
Gavin, yeah, I hope we didn't say too many bad words about it. You know what I mean?
Nothing he hasn't heard in our locker room before.
Definitely
true.
don't go back and listen to the whole episode about the stuff we said bad about you or anything.
Irish Johnson, thank you for watching.
That'd be our boy Gavin.
Yep.
And let's see.
Gavin's our commissioner, by the way. He's 8 years old.
And Tommy Vex is a piece of shit.
He is a piece of shit.
He's a piece of shit for getting Gavin in trouble and getting all this jam.
Oh yeah, story time. Story
time.
time.
Wait,
Okay.
what's somebody saying right here? That's nice.
That's Alex over at High Tension Network. Hi, Alex.
Oh, hey, what?
If it weren't for Alex, our TV show wouldn't happen. So y'all make sure you give some love to Alex Watt and the High Tension Network.
Kilowatt.
So our commissioner is an 8-year-old. Because why not? Because I fucking can.
Why not?
Because I fucking can. And we would have him come in the ring and do bits, but he would never be touched or touch anybody, right? He's not wrestling.
I'll kill him.
Right? He's just in the ring.
That's the George fight.
Just
Oh,
so
wait a minute. Jack. Where's the ball?
George would lose. You
know
don't
what I mean?
understand.
You're
Gavin's
looking
rough,
nice in
man.
the chair, but you're gonna get smacked.
Gavin wins over everybody.
Yeah.
So somebody took pictures of him being in the ring at one of our shows and sent it to the Pennsylvania State Athletic Commission,
Mhm.
who then told us that we could no longer have this child in the ring or around the ring or touching the ring. So I made sure he was our commissioner. He doesn't have to touch the ring, and anything he does can be done in a backstage bit. And neener.
Yep.
Snitches get stitches and end up in ditches. And it was Tommy Vex. He brought the letters like neener, and then I beat the shit out of him. But I feel it in the wind. I feel in the wind, Georgie.
Mm-hmm.
Tommy Vex has another ass whooping coming. I don't know when.
He needs it.
I don't know where.
Gavin didn't deserve that, Tommy Vex.
But I feel like this ain't done. And people might just need to stay tuned to our social media to find out more.
Yeah, check it all out on Smash Master Wrasslin on YouTube. You'll see all of it. Everything that this story progression, you're gonna want to beat the shit out of Tommy Vex yourself once you watch it back. He ruined the kid's Christmas.
He did. It was a
He ruined his
Christmas show.
Christmas.
It was a Christmas show, George. It was Christmas. And his Christmas present was a letter from the state saying that he's no longer be in the ring.
Do you believe that?
Damn.
Bunch of bullshit.
Yeah.
Right?
What else we got? We got other
What a
good
shoot.
questions.
Yeah,
Anybody
let's-
asking about my gun size?
We got the experience. J.S. Michaels asking favorite match at the show from last weekend.
Oof.
The one that I beat the shit out of J.S. Hawthorne at.
That was
Next.
good. No, wait. Well, that was good. Now, that was good. But I'm going to tell you right now, the think tank, Luca Mancini, MIT, and Jason Furious, bro, they're on the rise. This was supposed to happen, I think. These guys are me. And I know Skyros and Riddick and Adina Steele are teaming up to but bro, I believe in the think tank.
You're gonna turn on Adina like that?
I'm not turning on Adina. No, this.
You do realize that her and Kit Ref are going to be at Classics after we leave here, right? And you're gonna have to answer to her.
Shelby Waters yelled at me for this shit. She yelled at me for this
Adina's
shit.
not gonna yell at you.
Listen,
she's just gonna beat the shit out of you.
The ring
She's
is
half
still
made
there.
out of metal.
The ring is still there. Too.
how about that? How about Adina still making her return, man? From injury that broke her collarbone at the Christmas show. This goddamn show that I wasn't at. And they put that on me. They said, well, all this shit happened, George.
Shit happens when George doesn't show up. I told you, you're the heart and soul. And the day you don't show up, Philly Mike's knee gets ripped apart. The ligaments got ripped out. Adina broke her collarbone. Like, we get real injuries, people.
It's good to learn that lesson fast, George. Thank God that happened.
Well, now every day from here on in is booked. It's booked.
It's booked.
It's booked. Booked.
Yeah, George put in his contract that we weren't allowed to run against the Giants. So
I love the New York Football Giants. What do we got here? All right. Well,
what else we got?
The other question is explain to a non-wrestling fan why they're going to love Smash Master Wrasslin.
Well, George, as someone who is not a professional wrestler, why do you love Smash Master shows?
Because they are entertaining from top to bottom, from the music to the action, to the interaction with you, the crowd. It is an experience. It is an experience like no other. And really, I mean, it is action at its finest. If you love action, that's why you're going to want to come to a Smash Master show. It is an experience unlike no other. It is athletes, superstars. It is comedians. It is evil devil heels. It is nothing more than a good friggin' time. That's why, J.S. Michaels.
And look at him. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. You know, my favorite thing about what we do, and again, this is because we are so community focused here in Northeast PA.
Oh,
these aren't just athletes and superstars and superheroes, right? Yes, they are. But these are the people that work in your grocery store, that work at the mall. They cut your hair. They take care of your elderly. These are people that live in your community neighborhood. So like when we do our shows at Throop, it's standard. Kids 12 and under, free, no charge. Just come in. Don't care. Bring school bus and drop them off. Don't care. This is for the kids when we're doing Throop. When we go to the bar, we're dumb, crazy adults. But when we're here, it's for the kids. And we want them to have role models that they can literally look at, that they can go and meet, that are accessible, that they could walk up to and touch. When you go to a TV show, wrestling company, and it's a fun experience, and they've got shit that they can do that our budget will never allow us to do. But you're about 50 feet from that ring at closest. You want to walk up and touch it, you can at our
You really are right there in the action.
Get the blood on you.
We will. It's definitely 100%.
Yeah, there was some nasty blood this weekend.
There was nasty blood. I got nervous.
The first video I saw, I was
my face bounced against the asphalt. It's my story. I'm sticking to it. And it's still a little scratched up here. That's why I'm wearing
no good, JS Hawthorne. You're no good.
I'm wearing a hat because my forehead's scratched up and I'm going bald. So that's why non-wrestling fans look. This isn't just wrestling. This is entertainment.
I have a question for you. So there's companies like Rough and Rowdy that are setting themselves different than the boxing league with having amateurs fight and stuff like that, doing the broadcast different by putting big stars on and stuff like that. Is there anything you guys do like that to set yourself apart broadcast wise, promotion wise? Because I would say the independent wrestling market is very diluted. There's a lot of them, but you guys are a perfect example of I fucking love what you guys do. You know what I mean? I'm a guy who, if something's diluted, I won't even bother with it because it's I'm going to love too many of them and then love none of them. So it's how do you guys separate yourselves from all those other independent wrestlers?
I think for us, the big thing is the heavy focus on geographic area.
Yeah.
Again, most of the guys in these other companies, guys and gals, right? They're trying to get to the next level. They're actively trying. So whatever company they go into, they're trying to get out of as soon as they get there. Mm-hmm. We're not trying to go anywhere. We're trying to stay here. We're trying to just stay in our community, you know? So that's a huge difference.
That's like a big thing. Like, I don't know if you know what Rough and Rowdy is, but it's kind of like a strongman competition built out of West Virginia. And it's so like the difference between being being in West Virginia and somewhere else is the wrestlers or the fighters in those matches are all West Virginia. Like that's where it's from. It's so much better. You guys are buying into that.
Absolutely. I'm big on, so it's going to sound terrible, but just hear me out. I'm big on tribalism, you know, not nationalism, but tribalism. Right. So like this past weekend, we had this crew from Pittsburgh come out. MV Young, this world traveled, well known, super awesome, big name professional wrestler. He's got a school out there, so he brings a carload of his kids out. We put them in matches against our kids, and we do some 5-7-0 versus Pittsburgh, some Scranton versus Pittsburgh, Team T2T versus Team Smash, right? And as soon as I did that, I'm starting to get hit up from all these other schools, right? So we're never going to put anyone in the ring who's not trained. You know, we're not going to do that. It's not fair, safe, healthy, smart, profitable. Nothing good can come from it. If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. And it don't make sense to put someone who doesn't know what they're doing in the ring where somebody can
literally die. There's that classic WWE when they would put that guy in the ring and he just got destroyed and he was bloody and his dad. Remember that?
The mass transit incident up in Boston in ECW.
Insane.
New Jack, baby.
Yeah, New Jack.
This kid was underage too. Yeah. You know, he lied about his age.
Wild.
They put him in the show and busted him open.
Kept getting busted on him, but the wrestler, like, there's an interview with that wrestler, and he's like, "Yeah, I just laid into the kid." He's like, "I have no regrets."
That's New Jack, baby.
Yeah, that's wild.
You know, so I think that's a big thing that sets us apart. Independent wrestling as a whole, it's very diverse. Realistically, I mean, there's a lot of niche markets. So like you can find shows that are built around just bloody death matches, right? You can find shows that are built around crazy lucha high spots, people flying through the air and doing all kinds of crazy acrobatics. You can find promotions that are, you know, old school, what you would have seen, you know, what your grandparents would have taken you to down at Sportorium, you know. There's a cross section out there of availability, and then there's a lot of promotions that touch on a little bit of everything. And that's like, we try to touch a little bit of everything. I prefer hard hitting or hard laughing. Like those are my preferences. I either want to cringe because, ooh, that definitely hurt. You know, I'm covered in bruises. Let me tell you, JS Hawthorne there's no laying off, you know. I either like that or I want to laugh my ass off. I want to see shit that's so ridiculously hilarious that, you know, it's not even a suspension of belief at that point. It's I don't even care that I know that it's whatever it is, you know. I'm having fun. This is fun. And I think as long as we lean into that more and giving people a good time, we're going to keep winning.
Masty, you know what's crazy, right? And just to help John out with what he's asking, our announce team, Pete DeLong, Jordan Loftus, Anthony Blackwell Jr. are some of the best in the game. They're our Smash Master. We have referees. We have Big Frank. We have Dylan, and we have Maddie. You know, Maddie B.
Oh, Matty D is an institution in Northeastern Pennsylvania,
which are
wrestling.
The best, he's in my opinion, the best. We have a locker room that, once again, these guys are coming mostly from the 5-7-0, but there's some tri-state dudes that all come in this locker room, and they're the best.
You know, I got some friends that wrestle in New York City, and those guys are always asking them, "Hey, how do I get in your company? How do I get on Smash? How do I get on a Smash show?"
Yeah.
And he looks at me and goes, "You can't."
I love that.
Like, we've been gate kept for so long. Like, this is petty as shit.
Nice.
It's 100% petty. But we have been gate kept out of so much shit for so fucking long that isn't it nice? Isn't it nice that we get to have something nice?
Yeah.
We get to finally have something nice here in Northeastern PA. And we want everybody to
Smash Master Wrasslin, bro.
You know, I see tickets for independent wrestling shows. 30, 35, 40, $50. That's fucking stupid to me. You know, we're doing Throop Civic Center, $20. $20. Kids for free. You know, you have family of
under
4.
Under 12 now. I'm thinking you're
4.
15 coming in for free and shit. Yeah, I'm come here. Well, you got a mustache.
Put Nancy Taker on the door, you know.
Got a mustache.
But you know, a family of 4 can realistically come watch a wrestling show for less than $50, and that's with $10 to blow on food. You know,
have one of the best times of their lives.
Yeah, and like I brought up that Rough and Rowdy, like I went to one of these things, and I've been to NHL, NBA, every sporting event I've ever been to. This doubled or tripled the event or the experience of those things. It was just one of the best. The audience was part of the show. They had music playing, so it was basically like a dance club. It was awesome. So it was like setting yourself apart like that means so much more, because if you think about it, back in the day, that's what Vince McMahon did. He set himself apart. Right now, we have billions of independent wrestling companies that are trying to repeat what he did. And it's like, yo, do what he did. Be different. It's like, that's what he did. Don't do what he's doing. Do what he did.
You know, there's a cat from NEPA. His name's Jerry Derling, and he started this company called IWTV, the Independent Wrestling Television. He's NEPA born and bred. When the zoo was open in Wilkes-Barre at the Murray Complex, we used to go break him out of school so he'd come hang out with us and help us set up wrestling shows and punk rock shows, And if you go on that, there are literally hundreds of different companies of different styles, of different types. And again, this is from a kid in NEPA. And what we have is like nothing on there. Like there's nothing like it. Like it's just a party.
Well, and it's like we're in the NEPA scene, right? Usually we deal with a lot of bands, musicians like that. It's when you all realize you're not working against each other and working with each other, the scene blossoms. And it's not even that it blossoms. It explodes. It explodes immediately. It's like when this guy is working with this guy, things are better because they're not working against each other. It's not a fucking hard math problem.
And you don't even have to, and here's the thing, you don't even have to work together.
No,
just don't be a dickhead.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't be a dickhead.
Don't be a dickhead. Don't work against each other.
Don't even work against each other.
There's guys that I'm friends with that run other companies, and I'll give them the shirt off my back to help them out. And there's guys that I could care less if they.
Luca Mancini.
Well, I love Luca, but love Luca. BYO Wrestling was one of my different stories. I don't want to get sidetracked. But then there's other guys that we don't click on a personal level. But I'm not going to go out there and try to make their lives difficult because we're not doing business together,
Prevent your fighters from doing this because
it's fucking stupid.
That's the emotions that ruin business.
Yeah, I don't have anybody under contract. I barely
I don't know how
we make such little money doing this, y'all. Like we make such little money doing this. Like I can't.
Sponsorships are available.
Yeah, sponsorships are available, and that literally helps pay the bills in most shows. But I don't feel like even as a promoter, I have no right to say you're not allowed to work here. And in fact, if as a wrestler, because I still wrestle out too, if somebody would ever say, if you wrestle for me, you don't wrestle for them, I'd be like, fuck off. I ain't wrestling for you then.
I wanted that company immediately.
That's why I don't fuck with Jersey. Like the whole Jersey scene, like there's a lot of that shit. I'll fucking shit talk. This nothing they haven't fucking heard anyway. And like a lot of that shit, it's just dumb, and it makes it so it's not fun, and you don't want to be around it, and you're always worried about, am I gonna piss somebody off?
You see that in society now. It's like, you believe one thing, I can't do work with you because you. It's like, people are different. You have to learn to work with people. That makes you better.
Preach, John Fry. Preach.
Yeah, I know. I need to get a fucking podcast.
yeah. Do it. I dare you.
Poor Rich is over here about to fall asleep.
Yeah, get him in. Come on, Rich.
Shut up.
Get in there, Rich. We'll shut the fuck up.
John, while you're on a roll, then
me and Rich are actually going to switch today. I'm going to take the Rich seat, and he's going to hit the one button that switch cameras.
Yeah. All right. Let's do that.
We would call this a hot tag.
Money was brought up, so maybe this could help with that.
If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. If it don't make sense, it ain't worth doing. Masty preaching, Masty 316 right there.
Say that.
Mm-hmm.
What I did to my cam, bro. I crushed it with my friggin' muscles.
You're an animal, George.
Is yours gone? Yours all gone?
Of course it's gone. I'm be honest, that is the first time I've had a Steve Austin's Broken Skull American Lager.
That is not the first time. That is not the first time.
That is the first time that I was sober and had a Steve Austin's Broken Skull.
Oh, all right. Because I was going to say, the BYO show, I think we had one.
Did we? I don't know. I was drinking Leinenkugel.
Leinenkugel.
Bartles and James?
While we're doing the swap off, we did a show up at the Keystone Lounge up in Oliphant. Right?
Keystone Stage. Shout out.
I get kicked in the head a lot of fuck words up. It's not intentional, okay? So we did a show up there, and of course it's a BYOB venue. The wrestling company is called BYO Wrestling. So surprise, surprise, Masty was drinking during his match. All my opponents were okay with it. You know, it was a common courtesies were extended, and we were doing a hardcore wrestling match. George was our manager. Me and Kit Raff with George on our side against the Diamond City War Machines from right here in Wilkes-Barre.
Jess Michaels on their side.
On their side, right? And I looked at the ring at the end, you know, and there's blood all over the place, and there's Legos scattered across the ring, and an open bag of potatoes, russet brown potatoes, was scattered across, broken doors and tables everywhere.
It was a mess.
It was beautiful, and somehow we didn't win. Me and Kit Raff didn't win. And,
sure didn't.
And hardcore mafia. Wow, because I'm old.
All right.
The Diamond City War Machines didn't.
They didn't win.
Somehow, George and J.S. Michaels.
We won the match.
Pinned the referee.
We won the match.
And won the match.
We won the match.
Because
I'm undefeated out
wrestling. Here. You want to know why you want to come to a wrestling show if you don't watch wrestling? Because we don't give a shit about the rules. We just want to entertain y'all. And that shit was entertaining.
Yes. Where's John?
I'm here.
All right, we all set.
It's gonna be. I was gonna say it's gonna be so embarrassing when it cuts to me and we see how much bigger Rich is than me. All right, so I wanted to come on today because we're supposed to have a meeting today at 7:00 about this. And then we realized, oh, well, Rich's podcast is then. And then we were like, why don't we just have a podcast about this? And that was perfect.
And then we broke all the equipment.
Yeah. And then
Smash.
The equipment works and blah, blah, blah. Classic. But no, I wanted to come on and talk to you guys. Now, I'm here for Merch Booth. I work for Merch Booth. You know, we're growing, everything like that, working with Rich.
We have a store on Merch Booth.
Right? That's what I want to talk to you about. So Masty has a store on there. You have the store for Smash Master, right?
I do. Yep.
Okay.
We just opened that. I do have some ideas for how I'd like to utilize Merch Booth. But go ahead. You lead in and then I'll ramble.
I got you. So basically, I wanted to come on and see. So the first thing I do, I'm gonna hit y'all with some sales tactics. So the first thing you need to do in sales is listen to people, right?
That's right.
So I was listening to you here tonight, and you said I'm not gonna charge somebody $35 to get in my shows. I'm gonna charge you $20. Money clearly isn't something that motivates you. Which is great to see. You
clearly not. I'm a professional wrestling promoter. If I was money motivated, I wouldn't be doing this shit.
So basically what Merch Booth is, and I'll give our listeners a little bit of a background that maybe are listening for the first time. Merch Booth is a website that you sign up, you get to do on-demand merch. On-demand merch basically is when you're buying t-shirts, usually you have to buy 50 of them to make a price where you can make money. We have a process where if you have an online store, someone could buy one shirt, we print one shirt, we ship one shirt. That's a very valuable thing these days. There's not really many companies that do that. So what our job is to empower artists, independent artists, wrestlers, bands, musicians. Wrestlers and bands or bands and musicians are the same thing. You know, anything, even if you're a car garage, we want to empower you to have an online store where you could sell merch and make money. Like you said, I don't care about the money. Like the $20 ticket means more to you than the $35 ticket. Now, this is a business. Like you said earlier, you want to make this so that your shows pay for yourself. How do you do that? Where are people making money these days? It's simply, you can ask Breaking Benjamin down to the Crates of one of my favorite bands from around here. They're making money the same exact way, and that's t-shirts. You know, so when I originally talked to Masty about the getting the wrestling league into there, I was like, listen, this actually, what Merch Booth can do for Masty is add value to his own company. He can go to his wrestlers and say, hey, we get a free custom design from these guys. You're our biggest guy. Let's get a shirt on the site. Make sure we're pushing that. We do stuff like bulk orders. So if you wanted to actually order 50 of these shirts, you can have them on site and you're paying a cost for them. And say you ran out of mediums that day, there's no more missing a sale. We're open 24 hours and we have every size all the time. So it's like, if you run out of mediums, you're not going to miss a sale. I told George this last night. If you want to say a boyfriend and a girlfriend walk up to a merch table, you don't want to miss the girlfriend sale. Girls usually buy tank tops. Say you're only selling t-shirts. You could be like, yo, hop on our merch booth. We have tank tops there. Boom, another sale. So now you're filling the cart and buying something for everybody. So what really I wanted to pitch to you guys is, so what we have is new plans coming out. It's a monthly deal. So it's you could either, with Merch Booth, we have free accounts, we have paid accounts, blah, blah, blah. The paid accounts basically give you marketing support, which is graphics, all that, social media stuff. We give you videos. We give you a bunch of stuff like that, but it gives you more designs. We also give you more custom designs. So we'll make designs for you. There's nothing better than old wrestling merch, man. Like the old, like my Stone Cold sweatshirt is like one of my prized possession. Like there was the wrestling brand itself. And we were talking about this earlier. It's like that underground shit. It's like that punk rock feel. If you can have that punk rock feel, oh God.
Yeah,
we do have one design up on our merch.
Yeah, and
right
you
now.
have a free account right now.
Yep, we have a free account. I wanted to test fly it, and let me tell you, John. There's a couple things because like I said, I've been doing band management. I've done wrestling. I've done merching.
Yeah,
I've been merching for over 20 years, right? So I always want to see like how does the rollout go. But let me tell you what hooked me. Where do you print out of?
Axelrad, Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania.
And what do I give a shit about?
Yeah, local. So that's
Local.
another.
If you see
Shout
our
to
business
Axelrad.
card,
Yeah.
our business card literally says 5'7" over everyone.
Yeah, your design
our
on
design,
merch. Yeah.
Our design is 5'7" over everyone.
Yeah.
Because it is just a reminder that it's 5'7" first, not 5'7" only. We're not saying nobody's
Yeah, it's
allowed
just we're
in,
better than you.
but we're just saying that we're gonna sit on the front, like
or the back.
I
wherever
care,
we
yeah,
want.
I care more about being local, being community. As the world gets smaller with the internet and we stop caring as much about, you can hop online and buy some shit. And you think you're buying it from down the street, but you're buying it from like fucking China.
We have people
Taiwan.
that'll contact us all the time and be like, "Are you just like some shell company?" Like we'll have people that contact us just to make sure we're real people. Like it's crazy how much distrust in the internet there is, and it's
absolutely
worth it because the internet's terrifying.
And you talk about like if you're out of a physical shirt, right? Like a size medium, like George, cover your ears. You're gonna hate hearing this. I was never one to buy mediums because they were the ones I was always stuck with. Right? You can uncover yours now. Yeah. So I didn't really
working on being a large, daddy.
He's gonna be an XL.
I'm working on being
Boys
a fucking
husky.
large right here.
Boys husky. If you cut the sleeves off, baby, you can you can rock that small.
Fucking want somewhere else.
Being that we're based, we're focused on NEPA and we can go literally pick some up.
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about ordering them from Tennessee and oh shit, I hope they come in, everything, printing. Like if I can source this locally as opposed to ordering it from Kentucky, on board 100%. The quality looks like it's there. The reputation of Axelrad is solid. Like that was easy, that was an easy slam dunk for me once I heard that.
We work with Axelrad. What people don't realize is on-demand printing, like I said, is a revolutionary thing that people don't think about how the merch business works. Back in the day, to make a t-shirt with colors and multiple sides, it is a very costly thing. It's to print the screen. You have to remember they have to make silk screens for every layer of a color of a shirt. So if you're not printing 100 of these, you spent $30 on that screen alone. Yep. So it's like with DTG, you have to think of DTG printing as basically like a laser printer. We're just printing color and we have one of the only Axelrad has only one of the best machines that do this in the country. There's only a few people that have these machines. I mean, it's an expensive venture. So if you don't have something like Merch Booth fueling that, a lot of places will just never have a use for it.
And there's a lot of DTG companies, right?
Oh yeah,
and
Bonfire, Teespring, all these.
We have a T Public, or I have a T Public. It's a Masty T Public. I'm too lazy to open a Smash Master one, and also I knew that we were going to be doing the Merch Booth one. The price point, right? Very low, very economical. It's an economical program, right? I don't want to lose that because I know that some people that's all they can afford. Yeah. But I also know that people drop $30 on a t-shirt, no
Merch
problem.
Is where they make
merch is where you make money, right?
You don't make money by people not buying it.
So if I'm selling a shirt on like T Public, I'm gonna help you sell your program for you.
Yeah, no.
What is my payout on that? On T Public, if I sell a shirt at full cost, $22, basic shirt, I'm making $4.
Yep.
Which is great because there's $4 I didn't have before.
Yeah.
But what's my payout on merch booth?
Yeah, merch booth. So if you're doing a white shirt, it's $11. You're doing a black shirt, it's I think other way around. 12 for a black shirt, 11 for a white shirt. We charge 30. So it's you have to think. A lot of people are like, well, I want to charge less. And I was like, you're working with the wrong people because we're here for you to make more. So what we did was we have a boss whose brain works in calculations. So he's like, you find the right number and then charge the right number. And then we just keep repeating that. That's the process. So we don't touch you can charge more than 35, but we don't let you go less than, because that's how our algorithm.
Yeah,
it's like,
absolutely.
We want you to make the most money.
Well,
we won't let you not make money.
And you and I had a conversation on Facebook the other day because, I'm a Neanderthal and that's the only way to communicate with people.
No, I have some people that I don't even get their number. That's the way we talk.
If I get a text message or a phone call on my phone on my actual number, I don't know what
I
don't know what to do with it.
Johnny calls me all the time and I'm just like, stop.
Johnny O?
Johnny O calls me too much. I'm like, stop calling me.
Please don't call. Yeah.
Voice text.
I love the voice notes. The voice notes is I love that because like I can get a whole thought out without getting cut off, or I can let someone get a whole thought out without cutting them off. I love that.
I voice texted Rich today and then called him immediately and go, I just voice texted you. I don't even want to know what it says.
So it's like what my thought was like the price point difference. If you're narrow-minded, you go, oh, that's an expensive shirt. I want to sell it, but I'm not narrow-minded. I can go, you know what? If I have a local, high-quality printer that allows me to sell a premium product, right? That's what it is. It's a premium product.
Yep.
And I can charge a premium price tag. Then I'm going to put premium designs.
Yes.
Exclusivity on what I put on merch booth versus what I put on my T Public, which will satisfy a completely different customer base.
I work for merch booth. I have a Bonfire account.
Yeah.
So it's like merch booth has advantages. Bonfire has advantage. My main thing when selling this is I mean, some of my best friends, I'll go try and sell this and they think I'm trying to say, don't sell merch in person. I'm saying sell merch in person, sell merch on Bonfire, sell merch on merch booth, sell it on Spring. Why not have 15 places?
Why not?
It's not a fucking competition for who's gets your merch deal. Like I have hundreds of customers. I don't need your fucking 8 shirts that you're going to sell. I need you to sell yourself. And then I have 800 shirts that might
That's
sell.
right.
And it's like, that's why. So we just launched, we have a VIP program. We have a VIP plus program. And then we have a premium program we just launched. We had VIP originally with free program. And this was the first time we launched an actual paid program. Now, the VIP program gives you 2 free designs that we make. So it's like you come to us, you tell us exactly what you want, and you have some of the country's best artists making that for you. Like that's exactly what creative people need when it comes to merch, because a lot of them aren't focused on that. Like a band, they rarely have focus on anything. So they have a guy who does their merch. They have a guy who does, that's why they have managers. So it's like, why not put all the work on us? That's our job. Let us design you an awesome shirt. If you like it, perfect. If not, we'll go back and do more.
Remember how long it took me to actually, from the time I signed up to actually
6 months.
It was ridiculous.
I went to so when you sign up, you get a card that's made. It was December, and I posted that you made the store just a week ago. I was like, "Oh, what the fuck?"
Like I signed up for it, I knew I was gonna do it, but for me, I've been doing my, because I was a tour manager, I was a band manager, I was the guy designing the merch. Like I've designed all my own merch for years.
It's such an untrustworthy business, and we're coming to you saying, just don't stop trusting who you're trusting. Just also trust us too.
Well, like this whole Smash Master thing's been a whole experiment in me learning how to, delegate and trust people because I'm a control freak. But like the reason it took me so long is because I have been going, video editing, running a show, just run. And it's like, I have to do all these graphic designs for promotions and everything. And by the time I get done at the end of the day, it's like, I need to put a shirt to sign up.
Well, bro, it's like, you don't realize how long it takes to make a graphic. Like, my job is marketing. I'm a graphic designer. I work in squares, circles, and rectangles. That's my job. I make them look as good as I can for people. Trust me, I'm good at it.
And he's good.
You don't realize that's like, it takes me almost, like, I put a merch booth post out today. It took me 2 days to make that. It's like, it's a 5-picture spread. It took me 2 days to make that. And it's like, people are like, I want to be a social media manager it's like, dude, fucking don't. Dude, it stinks. But you guys do a great job at promoting online, and you are somebody who knows how much, like, and respects how long it takes to do that.
All of that is me.
Put that work on someone else, like when you have a VIP package with us, I give you a Google Drive with all of your mock-ups with a white background, all of your designs, which most people don't even know what a PNG image is, which is a no background image, so it's like, those are the people we're trying to help. I give you all of your shirts on models. We put them on models basically and give you promotional images with that.
Use a large model for my shirt.
George is one of our models. We give you video. We give you a content calendar. It's like, we are trying to make it fucking automated for you, and it's like, and we're very easy to work for. There's 2 of us, me and Angelica. My boss.
And like, for like someone like me who is increasingly getting busier and busier, like, you can't get everything done.
No.
At some point you got to outsource. And if you can outsource the place you can get it printed from and just have one less person to deal with, it makes that hell of a lot easier.
Oh my God. You know how many people are like, dude, I want to work with Merch Booth, but I work with Axelrad. I want to fuck those guys over. I was like, let me just tell you how you're wrong on that. Axelrad is our printer. You're selling in-person merch and it doesn't make sense to not sell online. Axelrad would be the one printing. It's like, you're all just trying to protect yourself. And I respect that. But if you're trying to protect yourself, you have to listen to the facts and take in the right shit. And it's like, Merch Booth was my fucking idea. Like, I believe in this shit. So it's like, it's insane to see people just like not trust us. Cause it's like, dog, I fucking spent my life making sure you trust this program. Like, it's my fucking pride and joy to make sure you trust this program. Yeah, we have paid programs, which we give our fucking all for those people. Like, I fuck every one of the people who pay us monthly. I love. We promote them on socials. We give them, we're branded partners with them on Instagram. They could tag our products and everything. Like, there's so many benefits to working with us. And people are so cynical usually that it's like, just buy in a little bit to everything, to everything. Like, buy in a little and see if you like it. If you don't like the taste, fucking try it again. And then if you don't like it again, then
I think we can all agree that, like, it'd be, if you're in entertainment, right? Like, at all, the free trial. I think we can all agree that the free trial, it's a no-brainer.
It's
right?
a no-brainer. Like, that's the end of my meeting is like, okay, you don't want to do the monthly. That's fine. Well, that's why we started this company as an only free plan. The way to build a business is you give people something, and then business is someone who could take it away and make people pay for it.
Value.
So like we're scaling. We just launched new products. Like the idea is working, but we need people to work for themselves for us to work. So it's hard to motivate people to do that. But it's like, once you just start telling people like Breaking Benjamin makes all their money on merch. Four people from Breaking Benjamin told me that personally in this building. Like, it's like, I don't know how to break this to any other way. You're not going to get money from the record company. You're getting it from Axelrad.
When you're in the entertainment industry, that merching is everything. I mean, for wrestlers, most of us, we're lucky to get our travel covered.
Exactly.
Like, we're lucky. So if we don't sell merch, we're high and dry.
Yeah.
And there's no point, unless you just love to spend money. And again, for me, it was so easy to go, this is local. It's a premium quality product. This is a no-brainer.
We're doing the switcheroo with that, people. That was like the main thing I wanted to talk about, was just basically the fact that like you can go to your wrestlers and say, hey, we have a program with this company. I know Masty. I know he wants to empower people to make money. It makes you a better owner by making your wrestlers more money.
Listen, I
And
don't care.
that's what we want to help do.
I don't care what the hustle is. I support it. I got people on my roster. I got OnlyFans. I got people on my roster that have Etsy's.
No, that's a
I got
perfect
people-
example.
People
That's a perfect
on
example.
my roster that make fucking
meat.
hot sauce. Okay, like I'm down for put your hustle out there. What we do in that ring is an infomercial for the shit we're
OnlyFans is
selling.
a perfect example of this, where everyone's like, "Oh, that's the opposite of fem." It's like that's one of the only sites on the internet that's empowering men and women to make money ways they never did before. That is the opposite of working against people.
I think all my friends in the adult female entertainment industry that have switched over to OnlyFans during the pandemic.
Yeah.
And now they don't have to worry about some guy like grabbing up on them and being extra creepy.
Exactly.
It is a safer alternative to things that are gonna happen
Yeah.
regardless.
Yeah, everyone can now get into porn, and I just want to say that's great.
Go make your
Oh,
go make your
Oh.
money, people. Go make your money.
Make the
Listen,
money.
if you're on the Smash
Merch
Master
booth.
roster, sign up for a merch booth. Just sign up
sign up
for
for merch
get
booth.
the pre-one, get the free one,
Free one.
give it a try.
Yeah, we
Talk
do.
to JS Michaels. He'll hook you up with
It's
designs.
not a free trial. You can have free for the rest of time. Some of our best customers have the free program, and they'll sell 15 shirts a week. But it's like they're like, we don't want to pay. We're doing fine like this. I'm like, good. We are too. You know, it's like if you want to sign up for monthly, we'll give you a free design. That's like, you know, so it's like
I'm in.
Like there's this turd that keeps floating around the Smash Master universe. His name's Jay Bougie, right? Fuck Jay Bougie. Y'all know, you know, fuck him. But Jay Bougie, in addition to being, 100%, that little clown right there.
Look at him, look at him.
Self-identified
You're
as a clown.
ass fool. How about that?
Self-identified as a little
You're
clown.
a clown, man.
Dweeb, yep. See,
Wow.
he just keep writing his own
Right under
bio
his
right
name.
there.
Right
Dweeb,
under
you
his
know?
name.
Keeps
Right
trying to
as
update his
dweeb.
Facebook status to
Come
let everybody know what he
on.
is. Listen, you don't.
Oh,
Pay the bills, sucker. Pay the bills, and you can claim to run
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Who beat Hawthorne?
Oh.
Who won? Who won on
About to get
Saturday?
beat up
Who,
by Steele. He's about to get beat
He's
up.
gonna get the shit knocked out of him on July 2nd by Adina Steele in a lumberjack match. I can't wait.
It's gonna be good.
It's the main event of our Smash Master X.
Look at him.
Smash
Wow,
Master 10, our 10th
unbelievable.
show.
Look at
this
this guy.
Smash
Look at him. Look
God.
at what
Get
running
the
his
hell outta here.
fucking
Who's
mouth.
the
You know what I
Smash
mean?
God of an atheist,
You did
you
enough
know?
Saturday, bud. You did enough. Look at him. It's not. Yeah. Who told you that?
Hey.
Hawthorne?
Yeah.
He's full of shit too.
I'm usually a guy that loves shit posting comments. Is there anything better than like anything that has wrestling involved? Because you just have heels that'll go in there and just post shit. That's exactly what I love.
And nobody knows how to turn it off. There is no turning it off.
No.
Like, but let me tell you, I was saying this guy right here, that asshole on the screen that you got right
Yeah.
down there.
Yeah, there he is.
If you would arm him, like this guy's he literally has followers around the world. He was on AEW, on one of the TV shows. He was in that PWI list.
PWI 500.
He has a huge following. He could switch his direct to garment to merch booth and make more money than he does with wherever he's at now.
And we offer like TeePublic will you can make a shirt, right? And then you have to make a separate product to make
Take
a hoodie.
that fucking shit
If
down.
you have a design, we put it on a t-shirt, a tank top, a hoodie, a pullover sweatshirt, and a long sleeve shirt. Without all you do is send us even the design doesn't even have to be printable. We'll make it printable for you. Like we'll take your crap picture and make it a printable design. Whereas a regular t-shirt company would be like, go take this picture and make it printable.
Believe in merchbooth.com. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
I believe in George.
I believe in miracles.
All right, Rich, you could have the show back.
Before we get out of here, we just want to maybe talk about some of the interesting venues that you guys have done these things at. You have the Throop Civic Center, the Keystone Stage, as you mentioned. Circle Drive-In, was that one you guys did as well?
We did a Halloween show at the Circle Drive-In after the NEPA Horror Fest weekend on the Sunday of that weekend. Yep.
Yeah. So and then you had a Classics Bar and Grill, which
Wild.
if anybody's
shit
been,
show, yeah.
it is literally a neighborhood bar. It's like a house essentially, and you're wrestling like more or less in the backyard. Like it was
Just
really
a little asphalt parking lot. Yeah.
So
we've
what are some of
wrestled at up in Archbold. We've wrestled at a grocery store with
Okay.
backbreakers. I've wrestled at countless fairgrounds. Some of them are really big and some not so much. I actually have a list of ones I want to hit before I'm done. You know, we've done the bingo halls, the VFWs, the American Legions, wrestled in some of the strangest community centers, gymnasiums. I want to wrestle at a flea market. I've never wrestled at a flea market, you know. I want to wrestle at a campground. You know, oh, that'd be dope. You know, I want to wrestle at a campground, you know, like I want to wrestle on a boat. That's like, that is,
Yeah.
I want to wrestle
That
on a
would
boat.
be insane.
You know, I want to wrestle at a taco festival because I want to eat tacos and wrestle the same day. That's not a recipe for disaster at all, you know.
Very specific.
Like,
it's growing.
but you know, I'm constantly coming up with more shit to it. But like, I want to do more memorable, fun, outlandish things. You know, like we talked about the Throop Civic Center is our first hall.
Always so gracious.
We
Always
love
so
the Throop
gracious.
Civic Center. I wish we could do it justice and fill it a little bit more.
Yeah.
So when we're there, again, kids 12 and under, just drop them off.
That's one thing I was talking to you guys about earlier today. It's like I love to see that last match that was in a backyard, because to fill the Civic Center is hard, but it would be awesome to do it. But even if you got what you would consider as a good audience, it's gonna make that place look barely filled. You fill the back of someone's backyard with 200 people, and I said it's gonna look like fucking Project X.
And it's great.
Like,
it's a great, because we
awesome.
feed off that energy too.
The energy builds in that smaller environment so much faster. When you have like a big open gym, it dies in that air, you know? So it's like, you have to be Michael Jordan to make those gyms cool, you know? So
the energy, you know, J.S. Michaels asked a few minutes ago, and I'm only going to stick on this real quick. He asked, why would someone who's not a wrestling fan want to come watch this? And it's the energy. It's the reason we all do this. You know, when you're in that ring and you're connecting with that crowd and you're reaching out and you're literally feeling the energy that they're giving you back. Because in that moment, everything's just, if you're in the now, everything is as it is. Right. So like there's this swelling of energy that as a performer, you feed off of. You know, musicians know this.
yeah.
If you're in the crowd, just like you are at a concert. So think about that feeling you have at a concert, but now you're doing it in front of the spectacle of these gladiators just doing combat, you know? Yeah. And
well, it's insane. The vibe, like I said about that Rough and Rowdy, like when a good fight is happening, it's like electricity is fucking pulsating through that fucking ring. And it's like, I've never seen a fight crowd before. So it kind of put me in awe. Like everyone's there for blood. And it's like, that's a weird thing, but it's like, we're all joined by that.
It's this
we're
deep
joined
animal desire.
animal
you're right.
Desire in us. I mean, that's the fucking Coliseum was built on. Like, what are we talking?
You got chemicals releasing in your brain. You got like these emotions and feelings, this energy swelling up. It's an experience. It's a vibe.
An experience.
Yeah.
I also want to say shout out real quick to JS Michaels, who already hit us up on the merch booth account and said, let's get a JS Michaels merch booth.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome to the Smash Master family. I said,
JS JS Michaels is a real one, man.
Dude, yep.
That's awesome. I appreciate that. Now I can look cool to my boss. All right, Richie.
All right. So, you know, speaking of all of these different places that you guys have done it, where, you know, how challenging is that for you to just kind of walk in a place and then figure out how the ring is going to get set up, where people are going to go? Like, I remember talking to the Keystone Stage after they were done with their thing, and the you know, sound guy Landy was just like, it was just crazy, like to how it worked and how they somehow fit it in there. He was just blown away by the whole production of it.
We if there's not a way, you make a way, you know. It's that punk rock mentality, George. Jeez almighty. What an animal. No, it's 100%. You have to have this idea of when you walk in, it just sounds so weird. Like you walk in and you know it works or you know it doesn't. You know, classics, anybody you look at that back lot, you'd be like, there's no way. There's no way.
Yeah.
There's no way, right?
Into a tiny crack is what people want to see. That's rock and roll.
It is. And like, you know, we had this game plan where we were going to push the fences out on both ways and make it bigger and everything. And, you know, come week of, you know, you got permit and zoning issues and things like the adrenaline, the big dick energy wears off. Where it's like, all right, hold on, I do have to be a responsible adult, and I do have to adhere to a couple rules here.
Right.
So we can't block the road with the U-Haul, and we can't blow the fence out, and we can't take this whole area.
Or we can.
I mean, the cops still showed up anyway, but like, at least we weren't out of line. But like, you get there and you go, okay, how do we do it? So we get there on Saturday morning, at 11:30, and nothing was cleaned out of the lot yet. So like, punk rock as it gets, you got to tear this bar lot down and put this ring up. We put the ring up, and then we decided we had to move the ring. So it is up, and like, you've got like a dozen grown men lifting this entirely put together, completely steel wrestling ring, right?
Jeez.
And you just find a way to make it work, It's like if you're a musician, you go into a venue, if it's a good venue or not.
Right.
If you're just gonna basically be playing in someone's living room and it's gonna like just you're gonna all but waste your time. You see this clown back there, you can tell the vibe. Sometimes the ring will fit, but the vibe won't fit.
Mhm.
And there's a lot to that. There's a lot to that. It's got to be the right people.
Looks great in these pants.
Or just George.
These fucking pants. Look at these fucking pants.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say this on this podcast, but the cock looks good.
Hey.
We're just so mad.
Oh,
I'm just trying to figure out.
I
how
love
to
hanging out with
transition to
George
that.
because I always end up
Both
being
our
the adult in the
bosses
room, and I
are-
don't know how that happens.
oh.
Oh shit! I got us both in trouble.
Well, since we're talking about classics, we should put up you guys are coming back very soon.
We are coming back with the Fighting 570, the greatest hits. We are going to be celebrating the 570 fight community from the last 20 years. We're just going to put a bunch of killer matchups on there. Our main event is going to be Adina Steele. It doesn't matter who the son of Scranton is. She's the cash that rules everything around us.
Yes.
Adina Steele and Killer Instinct, Mike Skyros, the high tension wrestling television champion, and his partner, Jacoby Riddick, against Georgia's think tank, which is Luca Mancini, Mr. Intellectual Davis, and Jason Furious.
That boy is good. That whole squad is good. I mean, listen, we all know that Adina Steele is the Smash Master Queen. She's the one that puts the butts in the seats, and the high tension wrestling television champion Mike Skyros and the complete wrestler Jacoby Riddick. Like, they're gonna come to bring it, but I'm telling you, Think Tank is on some new shit. They're brilliant. They're tough. They're gritty. This team, I don't know. I as much as I don't want to see it happen, I think Killer Instinct's getting their ass whipped.
I don't know about that. I've been kicked in the face by Mike Skyros, and I am twice the size of all the three of them kids put together.
Wow.
I don't think they're gonna outlast Mike Skyros and Jacoby Riddick. Jacoby Riddick's a sadist, man. He just likes to hurt people. But I tell you what, George, I did tell Ricky Price too that I would let him be on the show.
Ricky.
But I don't know what I'm gonna have him do yet. I don't know what I'm gonna have him do yet. I've got some ideas, but I did promise Ricky Price I would give him another shot.
Ricky Price.
I know that the Diamond City War Machines have put a very interesting request in for a match, but I've got to get some things lined up. We're not ready to say who.
Don't say nothing.
If y'all stay tuned to our Facebook, or more importantly, our Instagram. Out of all the social medias, I prefer Instagram.
All the socials, Smash
All
Master
the good stuff
Wrasslin.
happens there. Stay tuned. Pay attention. Lots of things are going to be coming the next couple weeks, but we do have a very important event coming after that one.
That is right here.
Smash Master Wrasslin X10, our 10th show in 1 year.
From
A company that was just literally a shot in the dark. We are coming back to the Throop Civic Center. It's a Sunday afternoon. It's one of our specialties. Sunday, July 2nd, we're going to celebrate everything. It's a celebration. Our main event is going to be Adina Steele knocking the teeth out of Jay Bougie.
Yeah, Jay Bougie. She's going to kick your ass, bud.
In a lumberjack match that we've been dying
Kick
for.
your ass.
So lumberjack match is when all the wrestlers stand outside the ring. And when someone gets thrown out, they get the shit beat out of them and thrown back in. See, Jay Bougie's had this thing going on since he came in the beginning of the
What's
company.
this cute
Or-
name for his group now? What are they calling themselves?
The Pantheon.
The Pantheon.
TP, you know, like
TP.
toilet paper. You know, someone ought to chuck toilet paper at them when they come out to the ring. But they've been using their little numbers game, you know, and cheating left and right.
That face is an animal.
He's an asshole. And I'll say it to his face too.
Oh, see, man, wow.
You about to lose it all, sucker.
Woo!
Anyway,
He's gonna be telling that he's
got
gonna
me
be
all wound
yeah.
up
Listen,
now.
he's gonna be telling that little baby that he got his ass whipped by his Smash Master Queen, Adina Steele.
That's right.
Shut up, Jay Bougie.
Winning creatively? Is that what you call it?
Oh.
Winning creatively?
Wow. Cheating.
Cheese. We've got a lot of stories being unfolded. So I figured since they're always going to have all their goons out there, their thugs. I can't use the goons. That's trademark.
Big dust.
That we're just going to let everybody be out there. And if they're a little, if the Pantheon wants to pop off, we'll pop off. You know, I'll be out there. I'll be more than happy to punch J.S. Hawthorne in the face again. I'm more than happy to throw Rocket through the roof again. I'll be more than happy to just send J.S. Hawthorne to whatever pits of hell are left. Y'all should come.
The show's
watch.
going to be big. I'm going to tell you this right now. The show
Ooh.
on the 17th at Classic is going to be exciting.
Yeah.
It's going to be high energy. It's going to be stellar matches. Like, you're really, at this point, it's probably going to sell out in the next 5 minutes. So why don't you go online right now, smashmasterwrasslin.com, and order your ticket. We're watching them go off the roof already.
We don't have the .com yet.
Jay, he was on a roll.
But I wasn't going to stop him.
So I'm going to tell you right now, you can find me right on the corner of Providence, and
George got tickets.
I got tickets.
So she got smashed by Jay Bougie. I'm not going to touch that.
You know what? Let's not even read his bullshit anymore.
Wow, Bougie can't spell. I was going to say that.
That's that's that public school education he's got going on over there. Now we've got a couple of these shows are lined up. They're rock solid top to bottom. We're doing tickets for the classic show. George has them. Kit Raff has them. Adina Steele has them. The Diamond City War Machines have them. Squid Sterling has them. Squid's out there hustling his little heart out. A lot of guys that are trying to break in and really make a name for themselves are really stepping up through all this. You're going to get to come and see this on the ground level, watching people make careers start from here, from home, where you live. So we got tickets for $15 in advance or at the door for 20. Hey, if you want to pay me 20, I'll gladly take the extra 5. But yeah, you know, for your convenience of not having to have tickets put aside for you or picking them up, hey, you can also order them online. We have an Eventbrite, smashmaster9.eventbrite.com. You can get tickets for the event there, or
I was trying to say.
Also get smashmaster10.eventbrite.com to get your Throop Civic Center tickets. Those are $20 all seats. Kids 12 and under, free. So bring the AOSO team, bring the Little League team, bring your Pee Wee football team, you know, bring the whatever, bring them all. We want to pack the house. That place holds like 100,000 people, at least it feels like it. So let's at least try to put a dent in there. I think there's at least 150 bleacher seats. You know, and that's just one side, and that's not even counting the chairs we put out. So
I hope Adina Steele throws Jay Bougie right into them bleachers.
Oh, that'd be wonderful. We'll
right on the top of his head.
Then she could say she smashed Jay Bougie.
Oh, look at this! This is Gus the Savage. You know what I mean? This guy's looking to get slapped.
I'll tell you what, George, Gus the Savage been talking about wanting to be a part of Smash since we announced the start date. He ain't shown up once.
He hasn't shown up to
Where
one.
you at, Gus? Come on down.
Gus.
Tell you what, Gus, you come June 17th. I got your ticket.
Okay.
I got your ticket. Show
How
up.
about you show up, Gus the Savage?
Gus, I'll give you a ride there because I'm gone. And you're my boy.
Can't beat that.
And I'm gonna take me and Gus.
So speaking of the anniversary, I honestly, when you ever hit a milestone of any kind, you want to look back and think about it. What are some of the highlights for you over this past year? Like your personal moments that maybe stuck out to you that makes you want to continue to do this into the next year.
There's a couple. One was our show in September. It was our third show. It was 5-7 OMG. We had a great lineup lined up. I I was going through the tail end of some things, and pre-sales weren't that great. I was just in a really down spot, and then 24 hours before the show, I just started getting cancellation after cancellation from talent. So now we're booking the show on the fly, day of. So like you start getting, after the third person calls off a show, you stop trying to fix it and go, we'll fix it when we get there. And me and Kit Raff and Brad, we booked this on the fly, and we call it Gorilla. It's where right behind the stage, right behind the curtain, right before you come through the curtain and you're part of the crowd, you're in the Gorilla area. We basically booked a show from Gorilla. And it was in that moment, in that day, that I looked around at the community of people that really pulled together. And for once, I allowed it to not be all my responsibility. I didn't try to take it all. My ego did not try to take it all on my own. And I allowed other people to do what they do. And I allowed other people to shine. And it really started to get several people within our group to really open up, grab a hold of some tasks, some responsibilities, and really their own artistic visions. I don't try to force anybody to do anything.
That's a great way to put it. It's like when you work with everybody and you're not the one who, putting restrictions on people and blah, 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 you get the best work out of people. Like that's how you let creativity grow. Like it's the opposite of business, but it's like, we're not in that. We're in creative business, so.
Pre-pandemic, I was a marketing director for a multi-million-dollar construction firm in North Carolina. Marketing is what I do. What I did best was putting teams together, because I've got a really good ability to see what people have inside of them and to put them around other people to pull that out, to challenge people in positive ways, to become the best that they are. Not to tell them who they are, but to ask them the right questions and give them the right opportunities to really level up and go. And when I realized that I was doing this in wrestling without even thinking, I was like, why don't I trust myself and my own ability to trust these people that are in these spots? And ever since then, and that was show 3, we're coming up to show 9 and 10. Things have gone so much better. That was a highlight. Another highlight was the ambulance match. It was personally, from a physical standpoint, it was a low point for me.
Brutal.
I got the shit beat out of me.
I didn't like watching that.
But as far as being a producer and a director and a writer, the things that we were able to do with that match and the storytelling involved, I'm very proud of that.
Perfect.
We fucked with people's emotions hard in that.
That's where the kids were crying bad. I felt
crying.
bad for that. These freaking kids were crying all over the place. Poor Masty. Jay Bougie and his what's their
Jay Bougie and Face
and
the
Face
That
and
was
the
when
Pantheon
JS
Hawthorne turned and Jesus Christ.
That was a huge moment.
Shayla threw
Smash.
a kick in there.
Oh. Anyway, wrestling. I think another thing that I'm very proud of, and it's not really a moment per se, but it's something we just wanted to do immediately. And our first show, our main event, was Adina Steele and Laura Lovelace. And on that show, we also had Vicky in the Scramble.
Yeah.
We don't separate our male and female talent. I don't believe in divisions. I think it's stupid. At this point, with what we understand about professional wrestling being what it is,
right,
isn't it kind of like insulting?
Okay. Yeah.
It is. Yeah.
And people will be the first to say they hate the female side of the WWE, and it's because of how WWE marketed the female side of things. It's like you made it so easy for people to hate that part of it.
Like, I'm an older gentleman. I'm 40 years old. When I was in school, the world was not as equal. And it's still not equal, but it wasn't as equal as it is now, right?
Come a long way.
We've come a long way since the 80s and 90s. They would do what was called girl push-ups, right? Where you were on your knees doing the push-ups instead of fully extended in like a plank. And the way that women's wrestling was treated around the turn of the century, and it's such a crying shame because they had great talent, they weren't given the opportunity because they were basically told to go out there and do girls push-ups. Do this watered down version of wrestling, but make sure you get your bra and panties match in. Fuck that. I want equal fights, equal rights. I want my girls tossing in there with the boys.
I fucking love that. I didn't know that.
Riley Crow, yeah, we don't, there's no divisions. Riley Crow and Cowpoke Paul, they threw it down at the bar.
Bro,
That was a
hands
lot of fun.
down. It's funny that you mentioned her right there because that is a baddie. Like that is, I'll put her in the ring against any of these guys right now, and she's kicking ass.
And I think that would lead me to my third thing that I'm most proud of, and that's my kids, Riley Crow, Ricky Price, and MJ Stacks, and your boy MIT.
Shh.
Those three.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Did you hear all them names he just named? They're fucking on the scene. They're just superstars.
Everything we're doing is for those kids.
You'll be on camera. Look, I always see you.
Oh, I like that hat. I like that hat.
Mankind with the steel chair. Everything we're doing is for this next crop of kids. Us old timers. Like we're telling the stories that we've wanted to tell that we've never had a chance to tell. But ultimately, at the end of my story, I'm not going to be able to continue wrestling. Someday these knees are going to finally go, fuck you, buddy, we're done. I want these kids to have the chance that we didn't, so that they can make it to that next level.
Oh yeah.
And everything I've given every one of them, they've crushed time and time again. And I'm proud of them. And MIT may be a shitbird, but I'm proud of everything he's done.
Think tank.
Stink tank.
Lindsay says, thank you for giving me the opportunity to grow without being in the ring. And I would have never known how thrilling filming a fan can be without Smash. So that's quite the compliment there. We also had another, we had a gentleman earlier. He commented actually on my page, so it wouldn't show up in the comments. So I wanted to copy it in there. But Gregory said, I went to their show on Saturday night in Scranton, and it was a blast. I was initially interested because a friend from Pittsburgg was on the show, but I'll definitely check out future events for sure. So
Thank you.
All right, Gregory.
We're just trying to make more friends. I want to shout out Lindsay real quick. She her and her fiance John, JS Michaels, were coming to shows, and like I said, that 20 years ago when we started, he was around and went off and got a career and did all that corporate shit and was living that purgatory. And they just decided to start coming back out to shows. And once you start coming to shows, it's really hard to just sit there and not want to find some way to plug in, right? And she asked me if I needed someone to take tickets at the door. Like, always need help everywhere.
Very important job.
And she was doing that, but like as soon as she was done taking tickets, she'd get her phone out. She'd be like, hey, do you mind if I record stuff? Go ahead. Once she started recording backstage promos, and I said to her, I was like, hey, why don't you just, instead of recording from like all the way on the sidelines, just go up to the ring. Just go to the ring. I want it from her perspective. Someone who's not a lifelong wrestling fan.
Right.
I want to see the show from her perspective. Most of the clips that we've shared from the bar show have been from her perspective. The 570 Experience logo in the bottom corner, that'd be her shots. And from someone that has zero filmmaking background or experience whatsoever, the material that she's put out is incredible. And again,
she's got on my good side.
It's not that polished professional wrestling display. It is literally a up close and personal viewpoint from someone who's just enjoying themselves. And these are the things that we do this for. There's no
and I'll tell you what, that show Saturday, like I showed up early and Lindsay showed up in heels and she ran back and forth in heels for most of the chaos, kept it so tight, there was no worry. And then she would go back with JS and they would, have a quick pep talk or whatever, and they'd do the rest of it like 5-star. Like it was seriously, like if we need someone to handle the pressure, I think Lindsay's got it.
Lindsay and JS have really stepped up.
Both of them.
I love that Smash had a positive outcome for Classics. Also, they had a very good, very busy day. Again, it's giving back.
One of Classics' biggest nights.
Absolutely. It's giving back to the community. Helping local community businesses. It's not just trying to like hightail it to a bigger town with more people in it. There's enough people here. Y'all just need to come see us.
We got to get one of those matches in Vinny's parking lot now.
Yeah, right.
We might knock Denny's down with Smash Master.
There
I'll
you
tell
go,
you that.
baby.
Man. Knock it down.
Back to classics.
Yeah. Oh, it's a tight yard. The people are gonna start coming, man, big time. They're gonna.
It was great. There was people in like on their balconies and
They were up
porches, like a
top.
couple houses over, watching from where they were. You know, it was fantastic. I love that. I love
Driving
that
by,
vibe,
breaking
you know?
our necks just to see what was
Mhm.
happening.
Like I said, punk, like once you're punk rock, you're awesome, and then you get so big because of being awesome that you lose it, because that's not what punk rock is when you're rich and famous. And it's like, dude, when you're in that sweet spot like you guys are right now, where everything's what I feel everything's about to blow up, you're at that 1 year mark. Like, oh, there's nothing sweeter than that. There is nothing.
I think
Come to the shows.
this year's going to be real special. We're finally starting to get the area, the scene, the community to see what we're doing. We're starting to break out beyond just those traditional wrestling fans that have been so supportive, that we love and cherish so dearly. But we want more. We want all y'all's,
Yeah.
you know.
Everybody come.
It's
We-
funny once people start seeing how their business could benefit from you guys, which you guys do a great job.
So many sponsors from show one till now have benefited from getting in on the sponsorships, whether it be a match, a wrestler, or sponsoring the whole show. There's different opportunities for a business, a name, anything anybody that wants to give in there and get their name out there, become a sponsor for Smash Master. Like, there's so many cool opportunities with the way the sponsorships go.
We even once had someone sponsor Santa Claus.
Yeah, I wanted to say,
Oh,
I sponsored Santa Claus with a fake company that I fake own, but what's it called? Masty just came here and he literally just handed me the check. I don't think he ever even cashed a check for it. Like, he just wanted to see me be a part of it. So it's like, I fucking love the spot you guys are in, right? Like, that's what I love. I mean, I told George this. I was like, look, talking to him a different.
I know.
I was like, don't be like Vince McMahon. Be different than Vince. Like, I've been telling him this I was like, dude, get your video out there. Blah blah blah. It's all about video. Blah blah blah. And it's like, be different. And I'm seeing it from you guys. I'm seeing the difference from you guys. And it's like, the next step is sponsors seeing the benefit, which Vince McMahon was a pro at. He's showed benefits to those companies. So it's like, I love that position you're in right now. And it's like all your wrestlers are bought in. So it's fucking fire, dude. That's what you got right now.
Look at Squid saying nice things. Yo, Squid's another guy that he's, you know what I mean? Squid's coming in there. He's doing the hard work. He's helping with ring crew. He's in with these matches now. He's Smash Master now. You understand? He's in just from doing the hard work. The hard work that like Masty said.
Like I said, someday I ain't going to be able to do this, and I'm going to need all these kids that we keep trying to give platforms and opportunities to. They're going to be in the position where they're going to carry this on.
You're going to hit the broadcast booth after you get out of the ring?
Bro, I'm already planning a podcast now. Like, I ain't
Yeah.
going to be out of, like, I'm just running out of daylight time,
Yeah.
you know?
You let me know when you want to do a podcast. I'll do a fucking wrestling podcast for you. And
Hell
I'll
yeah.
produce that podcast.
All right, I'm down. Let's
You
do it.
Stop fucking telling people I produce podcasts, but I will fucking do that podcast in a second.
Miss Millie.
Millie's right about that.
Millie has a Facebook page called From the Left Side, and she shares a
Another
lot
sponsor.
of a frequent sponsor. Thank you, Miss Millie.
Thank you, Millie.
She shares a lot of wrestling news from not just around the region, but from around the country, but a lot of it from around the region. So you can learn about a lot of different local wrestling companies through her page. Again, that's called From the Left Side.
Nice.
Oh,
Oh man.
Just put your money on.
Hold on. Hey, watch your mouth, Bougie, because me and JS Michaels are also undefeated in what we do.
I like how he spelled something wrong earlier, so now he just tried to use the proper use of I.
Yeah.
But he was wrong there too, buddy. You should have said me there.
Wow.
yeah, it will be pretty hard. They're in a good side to them. I got nothing nice to say about
I got
you.
nothing. I got nothing.
I just tried to write.
I had a picture posted at the door. I said, "Don't let this jerk in," and somebody wasn't watching. I'm putting Nancy on the door now.
Yep.
You
He
get
barged
past
right in.
Nancy.
He barged right in. Face. That dude face one punched the door down.
Probably.
Dude's big.
I ain't gonna lie, George. There's not too many people that intimidate me at all. Like, I'm a big motherfucker, right?
You are a
I'm
big
I'm
motherfucker.
little
Yes,
motherfucker.
you are.
I've learned. to
I'm
just
sitting
let
here.
it
I'm
go.
6'4". You know what I mean? So look at this right now. Like, this is.
Like, I've thrown hands with. Don't get me wrong. I ain't afraid to throw hands with. But let me tell you, I've thrown hands with face, and he ain't fucking around, man.
Oh, face. Jeez. Don't ever hit me.
Every time
Don't hit me.
every time I have an encounter with him, my face is always scuffed up because he wears some damn ropes on his fucking hands.
He's an animal. He's a maniac.
Well, we've talked so much about indie wrestling, and I think you said right before we started recording, you guys don't really follow WWE or AEW or any of those things right now.
I personally don't. Not too tight. A lot of reasons. Mainly, there's just so much wrestling to watch. I can't keep up with all of it.
Right.
And I no longer feel guilty if I don't.
Yeah.
I also, and we talked about this a little bit. When you're watching a lot of what everybody else is doing, even subconsciously, it starts to affect what you are doing and what you want to do. And not to sound like some hoity-toity art nerd or anything, but don't want to have my vision diluted.
I love that.
By other people's, what they're doing. I don't want to have to go, I can't do this because they just did that on Raw.
I'm a guy who can't watch successful, like if something in the industry I'm at, like I hate watching someone that's already successful because it's like, well, I'm not going to get it that way. It's not,
so I might as well not do it, right? Like that's like I unfairly compete against unrealistic thing that people don't even know I'm competing with them. Yeah. So like I watch wrestling? Yes, tons. I watch a lot of independent wrestling. I watch a lot of matches that just come across from people that I like. I watch a lot of late 90s ECW because I will always watch late 90s ECW. It's the best. I like watching old
Joey Styles inspired me.
Oh my God.
At least 3 times a show.
I like watching old WCCW from Dallas Sportatorium with Von Erichs. I love watching that.
Watch the brutality of XPW and how that crazy shit. That was kind of wild. Major Guns. I remember her.
I don't remember Major Guns. Fucking George. Look at these shorts. I will say
fucking thing.
I don't like usually the only wrestling shows I see live are my own, but this past New Year's I went with fucking George, man. Fucking George. You can dress them up, but you can't take them out, folks.
Menaces at the bar last.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yo, George has this thing where Rich will be on stage.
Oh no! That's no.
Rich will be on stage and he'll just finish up like saying like, "Hey, support NEPA Scene," and everyone will start clapping, and George will like, "Yeah, fuck you, Rich."
Is that true? Yo, did you do that? Is that true?
Yo,
I was looking at my phone.
Oh, I love that.
And just so you know, I do that. That's out of love.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I believe if Rich doesn't hear that on a Tuesday night, he's gonna think the night sucked. I think.
Right.
You show up to it every week. You get to say "fuck you" every week. That's fair by me.
It's great when he does it to other people because they don't know how to take it.
Oh yeah.
Like wait, fuck me? What? But he's saying it in a positive way. What?
Yeah.
Like it's not like fuck you. Like you're mad.
No. That's the thing. Everyone thinks that like, oh, that guy's heckling. It's like, dude. No. I tell you, that's your biggest hype man you haven't even met yet.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
Your guy.
That's
your guy.
Like Squid Thrilling said, ultimate hype man.
This motherfucker over here.
He's 6'4", ladies.
I'm 6'4". Look at the size of this fucking guy right here. He's at least 7'9".
Masty the giant.
There's our boy. There's Rich.
Yo, it is. Anytime you got a Smash Master in the house on your project, I guarantee we're gonna wreck the joint.
This is the longest podcast you've ever stayed around for, and we thank you for that.
You asked the 2 loudest, most outspoken, long-winded
Smash Masters
area code.
I judge podcasts by not if you get 100 live viewers. I judge it by if those 10 or 15 that you get are watching the whole time. And
but did they stay?
Yeah, that's what I mean. We had steady viewers tonight the whole time. Like that's what I mean about you guys. Like your story is fucking cool. Like it's fucking cool.
It's that energy. Yeah, it's just the Smash Master energy, man.
It's that vibe.
It's that vibe. It's that I ain't trying. I ain't pressing at the plate. You know, I relentlessly use that term with the kids. I'm like, they're like, man, I'm struggling right now. I'm like, you're pressing at the plate. You're trying too hard.
Just
stop
entertain.
Fucking try it. Just go out there and be you.
You're a relentless underdog. People love that.
Like that's the whole story is this whole area. We are the underdog.
We are not meant to succeed.
No, nope. We're stuck here, so we might as well have a good time doing it.
Yeah.
So come on down to the bar.
Come on
Get
down.
an Uncle Masty black and blue burger. That's right. There's a burger named after me.
That's right.
Get that shit. Grab a beer. Watch us pound the shit out of each other. It's a good time. It's a good time.
Wait.
The next Smash Master Wrasslin events are set for Saturday, June 17th at Classics Bar and Grill in Scranton, and Sunday, July 2nd at the Throop Civic Center. Tickets are on sale now, so make sure you follow Smash Master Wrasslin on your social media platforms of choice, and learn more about these guys. I mean, we delved into a lot, but there is plenty more. So
Good God, yeah.
and check out their YouTube channel, and just like I was scrolling through some of these shows, and like it looks like
So
a
much
ton
content.
of fun.
Oh my gosh, it's so much fun. We just have a blast. It's just all about having fun. The pandemic ruined the world. It just kind of made everybody reset. And I think in a way it kind of gave us some freedom to go, you know what? Nothing really fucking matters. So let's just have a good time.
Can I sponsor Santa
Absolutely.
Claus for the next show too, even though it's June?
That would be the ring announcer then. That would be the ring announcer
if it
with the
makes dollars,
tickets.
it makes sense. And if you're willing to spend it, I'm willing to make it
Yeah,
happen.
yeah. You want to sponsor? Yeah, sure, John. You want to sponsor Santa? You can. Yeah.
Yeah, John. Yeah.
You
sure.
yeah. Just sign the check, bum. You got it.
So we can hand it back.
So we, and how about oh, here's our boy. Oh no, that's Millie there. What's Millie saying?
Really, she can listen to us all night.
Ah, dang, Millie.
That's so kind.
That's nice.
That's nice.
Well, thank you everybody for tuning in, and we did a little something different today by covering some wrestling. I hope you like that, and if you want to see it again on the show, let us know in the comments. Please like and share. Let people know. And if you're new to NEPA Scene and you discovered us through Smash Master, then follow us too. We really support local as much as possible. We do cover the national acts coming through the area, but our focus are the local artists, just like the ones you see at the NEPA Scene open mic. You see in our interviews, our song premieres, our live streams, all kinds of stuff. So if you want a little bit of everything when it comes to arts and entertainment, that's what we're here to do. So and thank you guys for coming on and making this show happen. This was a lot of fun.
Rich, thank you.
Yeah, thank you for doing this, because local artists, like the whole reason we have this as a platform for local artists. Thank you for giving a platform for your local artists as well.
Oh yeah,
Thank you,
That's
man.
how
Thank
we
you,
build a
man.
scene, is by giving a shit about each other.
And it takes that a little bit of crossover too. I think so many people are kind of stuck in I'm music, I only deal with music. I do poetry, I only do poetry. But some of the best shows I've ever seen are mixed shows, are people coming together. That's one of the things I've loved about the open mic, is having people from all different backgrounds show up who never would have been at each other's show otherwise, going, hey, this was awesome. Why don't we do something together? And so maybe we'll see more of that, with wrestling.
Absolutely. We had D West play at our last show. We're going to continue to have bands play with us. at the
Live
bars.
music.
Live music is part. It's if it's a party, you need music, right? Like,
Absolutely.
and we are in NEPA. There's more good musicians.
So
here than
much good
fucking
local
anywhere,
talent, man.
So
I want to get
It
them
makes sense,
Cortez
right?
boys on
Makes
one of
sense.
our
Cortez
shows.
last
Damn. Last night I couldn't even stop. We were in John. I don't know what happened last night, man.
we could go all night, realistically.
Realistically, but go ahead, Rich. Get us the fuck out of here.
We'll do a PBS telethon one of these days.
All right, we got 7 more tickets. We'll bring
Bring it
here.
home, yeah.
Well, thanks guys. Thanks for coming on, and thank you to everybody who tuned in. Like, share, comment, all that good stuff. And we will see you here next Wednesday for another NEPA Scene podcast.
Fuck you, Jay Boogie.
Party don't stop.
I have a mic now, motherfuckers.
Have a good night, everybody.